Now, 4 weeks into the war in West Asia, the focus is now shifted, it appears, to talks. Donald Trump has said that talks are on, but Iran has said that this is not happening and the Americans are just talking to themselves. Now, amid these claims and counterclaims, the real question, of course, is this: is a peace deal still possible for the deal maker? Now, Iran has shut the door on any negotiations, at least for now, but President Trump insists that the Iranian leaders are part of the peace talks, suggesting that Tehran's denials are because the negotiators fear being killed.
When I tell you we're winning so big, nobody's ever seen anything like we're doing in the Middle East with Iran. And they are negotiating, by the way, and they want to make a deal so badly, but they're afraid to say it because they figure they'll be killed by their own people. They're also afraid they'll be killed by us.
But Iran's top diplomat has struck a completely different tone. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that friendly nations have conveyed messages, but this does not amount to dialogue with the Americans. He also reiterated that Iran will end this war on its own terms.
We want the war to end, but on our terms, in a way that ensures it will not be repeated and that our enemies learn a lesson, so they will not even contemplate attacking Iran again. Second, the damage suffered by the people of Iran must be compensated. They have put forward some ideas. I saw in 1 or 2 places that it was described as a 15-point plan, but these were presented as various proposals. All of them have been conveyed to the country's senior authorities, and if it becomes necessary to take a position, that will certainly be decided. For now, our policy is to continue resisting and to continue defending the country. At present, we have no intention of negotiating, and no negotiations have taken place.
Trump's White House is telling a completely different story. It insists that talks are underway. It has also issued a pretty blunt warning: either accept defeat or Trump will unleash hell.
There does not need to be any more death and destruction. But if Iran fails to accept the reality of the current moment, if they fail to understand that they have been defeated militarily and will continue to be, President Trump will ensure they are hit harder than they have ever been hit before. President Trump does not bluff, and he is prepared to unleash hell. Iran should not miscalculate again.
Iran earlier issued 5 conditions to end the war, and these include guarantees that Israel or the United States will not resume the war. It also wants compensation for war damages and cessation of hostilities on all regional fronts. It's also demanded to exercise sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. Now, these demands are in stark contrast to Trump's reported proposal, which calls for zero nuclear capability and also for limits on Iran's ballistic missile capability, and most importantly, for the free passage through the Strait of Hormuz, none of which the Iranians say is acceptable. And amid suspense over talks, China has struck a hopeful note. Foreign Minister Wang Yi has told his Egyptian counterpart that the United States and Iran are signaling a willingness for talks, offering a glimmer of hope for peace. The White House has said that Trump is in fact expected to meet the Chinese President Xi Jinping on the 14th and the 15th of May, and many believe that this date indicates a possible timeline for war. When asked about it, the White House said that it has always estimated the war to last anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks.